Yeah. Now, of course, we have Mary Ogundimu joining us live right now, and you've been with us for a while for this past week, and talking about finding true happiness and having your best life. It's a bit different from what we've been talking about in the past few weeks. Uh, People are getting back to work, and sometimes there are many considerations. But you want to talk to us about finding true happiness today. So talk to us. Where do we start when we're looking for true happiness?
All right, thank you very much. It's great to be here again, once again. So yes, I've been with you for a while, and it's been so amazing. So personally, I feel like, or I think the true happiness is understanding our duties towards God and man, enjoying every present moment we have, without depending on the future, not to amuse ourselves with either hopes or fears, or just being satisfied with what we have at the moment, being content with where we are at the moment, and yes, aiming for a better life. So basically, that's true happiness for me in in a very concise form, right? So I see a lot of people today attach their happiness to physical things, to things that they have, the possessions, the things they have gathered along the line. But the question I ask myself is, what happens when all of these things are no longer there? What happens? So I am saying that you do not have to tie your own happiness to the things that you see. Let this thing come from within. Because trust me, you can only give what you have. And so if you're not living a happy life, it will be difficult for you to give out, to pass it on to your neighbor, your friends, your family, to whoever you have around you. And trust me, that is the beginning of a good life. That is the beginning of a good life.
Now, you're talking to us about finding true happiness and living your best life. There are many people going back to work, and many others who are not able to work at all in the aftermath of COVID-19. So, for people who are facing fears, for people who are facing an uncertain future, the fact that maybe my sources of income have been depleted, and I'm wondering, okay, what am I going to do for the future? How do you ensure that you maintain your happiness even through trying times? I know you've said that happiness should not be based on physical things, but sometimes when you're going through trying times, your happiness quotient, as it were, seems to go down. So how do you ensure that you maintain that true happiness and fulfillment during this time?
All right. Great. Thank you very much. I remember talking to someone very early last week, talking about how, I left my job in January and then coming on to do other things in the year. And I was saying that I'd done that with no regret so far, in the sense that I understand the times and seasons. I know that these are really hard times for a lot of people. These are really times when people are really scared. I mean, you can get to the office tomorrow and then you're meeting in a letter of termination of appointment and all that. So I understand, basically, I understand everything that is happening, but I am still maintaining, because one thing that is constant to us as individuals is our ability to adapt and to change. So I would advise that for anyone who is currently in that phase of life, or who is at that position in life, going through this particular scenario I've just painted, I need you to understand that fear is a bastard. Fear will continuously steal your joy. So the earlier you face the realities, the better for you. Now that we have all of these things displayed right in front of us, like, this is our reality. I mean, no one was expecting COVID-19. We weren't expecting it. It came unannounced, all right? Now that this has happened, what we need to start thinking is, how do I get out of this? How do I make it that this thing does not affect me? I've had a lot of people say to me that, you know what, I have made more money this period. I have been able to do more things this period. So look on the positive side of these things. It has happened now. What lesson can you learn out of it? What positivity can you bring out of it? What is your plan B or what is your plan C? In case the job you are right now or the work you're doing right now does not go the way you want it to go, or in case your plans do not even go the way you want it to go, what is your plan B? So it's better now that you start thinking of a way out of what you are presently, if you're currently in that phase of life, and then you start thinking on to better things. Think of what can you do. Have alternatives, all right? Have alternatives to the things that give you happiness. If
Yeah.
it's your job that is giving you happiness, and trust me, when the job is gone, your happiness is gone. That's simple.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
I
So what
understand.
I'm trying to say, all right?
So I wanted to, I mean, I was running off now. We have just a few seconds left. Living your best life now. Talk to someone out there who, you know, coming out of COVID-19 and looking forward for the rest of 2020. What should people expect and what kind of attitude should they have? Another 30
All
seconds.
right. Thank you. So let me just talk to that person who wants to live his or her best life at this time, at this point in time. Number one, you need to spend time alone with yourself. You need time alone with yourself. You need time to reflect. You need time to meditate. You need time to think over your life, and have a general overall of what is your life right now? How are you doing with your life? What do you want out of life? All right, where you are currently, where you want to be, and where you are going to. Very basic. Find purpose. Find that thing that defines you. Hold on to your values so dear. Those things that you cherish so much, please hold on to them so dear. Spend time with people.
Mary Ogundimu, thank you so much for joining us this morning. And that's about finding true happiness and living your best life. Thank you so much for motivating us this Monday. We're going to be taking a quick break and be back with more.